This is the 75 Hard Challenge. According to Forbes, it is said to benefit you by building confidence, self-worth, grittiness, and eliminating negativity from your life. Oh, that's not good stuff. That's not good stuff. I am not a believer in fat challenges, but after completing this challenge, I've seen more progress, got more in shape, became more productive, built lasting routines for a better lifestyle, all but within 75 days. So during this time, I lost about like 20 pounds. I started going to the gym at like 5:30 in the morning, and it also just helped me develop so much more confidence. So in this video, I just kind of wanted to share my entire experience and 7 lessons that I learned from the 75 Hard Challenge, and some things that you can probably take away to help you develop more confidence, to lose some weight, to build better habits, and lead a more productive and healthy lifestyle. Upon starting this challenge, I realized I would be facing additional obstacles from reliving past injuries, overcoming old habits, and changing my entire lifestyle. With that being said, this challenge would be one of the most difficult and energy draining things I've ever done, but also the most rewarding. Oh, and did I mention if you miss one day, you're supposed to start all the way back to day 1? Okay, week 1, lesson 1, set your expectations. Now you see, starting something is always the easiest thing to do. The hard part is creating a habit or an atomic habit. I mean, it looks like poop. It's actually really nutritious. So what is the 75 Hard Challenge? To put it simply, a nutrition plan of your choice with no alcohol or cheat meals, 2 45-minute workouts, and 1 must be outside, 1 gallon of water a day, 1 personal development book, and 1 progress picture per day. So where do you start? In my case, the first day went smooth, but it was hard. 75 hard. I started off my first day with a 60-kilometer bike ride outdoors, which ran me 2 hours and 15 minutes. So at this point, the only thing that I really had to worry about was really my diet. And you know, it's kind of strict because you're not supposed to have any cheat meals, and you have to have a gallon of water, and you need to follow this diet plan. And of course, you know, I don't eat bad or anything like that. It's just going to be a challenge. I set the expectation that I knew that would work for me, and in this case, it was a simple 2,500 to 3,000 caloric deficit. You see, the gallon of water is actually kind of a difficult spot to be in because I actually ended up puking like all the water out in the morning because I was chugging too much. So then I just decided to set the expectation of drinking 3 of these 1-liter bottles every 3 hours or so, and that kind of just worked for me. The hardest thing about this challenge was actually finding a book. I didn't find a book for the first 10 days, but once I did, I set the expectation of reading this book every day after lunch for about 15 to 30 minutes, and honestly, this book is life-changing, but we'll get into that more later. It was these small achievable expectations that I made for myself that promoted consistency, which is the key to seeing results in any part of health and fitness plan. But this program does have potential drawbacks because this is an all or nothing program, and it doesn't really teach you any skills to deal with slip-ups or any sustainable behaviors going forward when you want to get off or continue doing this program. In fact, it might be too restrictive in diet because it doesn't allow for any cheat meals, and going forward, it doesn't teach you to have a good relationship with food. Week 2, lesson 2, 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, now at this point, I've been going really hard. I've been like diving deep to it, super passionate about it. I'm also biking to the gym to add in exercise minutes. It really killed 2 birds with 1 stone, not only to get my outside exercise minutes in, but I also got my inside exercise minutes in. At first, it felt like a massive obstacle to get out of the gym, but eventually, once I made that correlation of a habit between working out and biking, it just kind of fit between each other, and it was something that I actually even looked forward to. Slowly, this little routine became a habit that I craved. I would pray for good weather just so that I could get a ride there. Habit stacking is when you introduce a new habit to something that you already do. It doesn't have to be biking to the gym and working out like I do. It could be as simple as going for a walk directly after dinner. Something as simple as that can also count towards your exercise minutes. And because of this simple strategy, I got into this flow state of working out, but then I realized a new obstacle was starting to come up. Now, of course, with all this exercise that my body is still getting used to, I started to develop bigger appetite, and certainly one that needed to nourish my body. At first, I started to have cravings for sugar, and we all know that junk food is not going to fuel you or help you perform. I realized I needed to figure out a way to make something that was going to fuel my body, be delicious, nutritious, and fill my hunger. If I want to be this active and dedicated, it made no sense to me why I would not want to fuel my body properly. Literally, I was fighting for demons. Like, I really wanted the Reese Cups, I wanted pizza, I wanted hot dog, fried chicken. I was fiending. I had to figure out some way to satisfy these cravings. So this is what I came up with. Week 4, lesson 4, meal prepping. The diet was simple. So I didn't meal prep until this challenge, but until I started doing it, I didn't realize how much time and money you save by just meal prepping start of the week. Like preparing oats was this one thing that I did that took about 10 minutes on a Sunday evening. It would fuel me for my entire week with delicious and nutritious oats for my morning workouts. And I just want to point out that this particular diet really did add to the fact that I was able to squat 405 again. I was able to deadlift 500 again. I was able to bench 285 again. I was also able to lose 20 pounds again, and as of right now I weigh 178 pounds, which is the lowest body weight that I walk around in a very long time. I'm sure you can tell though. I'm sure you can kind of tell. Week 5, lesson 5, do hard things first. Now at this point I thought I would get to a point where I'd burn out, but somehow elevated me and developed new habits that actually stuck. I started waking up at 5:15 a.m. in the morning so that I could work out before my 9 to 5. If I had additional time after work, I would go for a run or even just a brisk walk to get exercise in. And I cannot explain how amazing this new habit is, especially when you get your hardest thing done at the beginning of the day, so then you have your entire day to enjoy doing whatever you want. Not only that, you get this feeling of working out in the morning where it's just so peaceful and quiet because there's no one on the streets and there's no one in the gym. It was a sensation that I really valued in the morning. Somehow, things all started just to come together the way I always wanted and believed it was going to, because of this one very important book I was reading. Now, Atomic Habits is a world-renowned book that I think everybody should read because it really helped me develop some new and innovative lifestyle habits and productive habits that changed my life for the better. And you know, all of this follows under the rule of just getting 1% better. Nobody expects you to make a full 180 in one night. But the question is, if you got 1%, maybe even 0.1% better every day over the course of a year, what do you think would happen? How would your life change? Do you think it'd be better? Just think about what would happen if you could apply that to yourself today, getting 1% better every day. Week 10, lesson 7, stay humble. Now, I remember finishing the 75 hard challenge and I was so excited to do so. I was so proud of myself and I was so excited to run to Hot House, get myself a pizza and just eat it and enjoy it. And in that moment, when I had that pizza and that first bite, it was the most unsatisfying thing I've ever had, believe it or not. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the fact that I wasn't having any cheat meals, and maybe it was the fact that I was in a really good place in my life and I just didn't have that relationship with junk food anymore. I don't know what it was, but that pizza was just so unsatisfying. Like I thought I would really enjoy it, but really it was like mid. In retrospect, maybe I lost that instant gratification that I used to get from having pizza. If I have a bad day, or maybe I'm just kind of hungry, or I want something salty in my mouth, I'll just go grab a slice of pizza. In that moment, it didn't feel like a reward. I think maybe in that moment, I was just so proud of how far I've come with the 75 days, and I've dedicated myself and I committed to it and I actually completed it, and I made some worthy and notable lifestyle changes to me. So those were the things I was truly grateful for, because you know, at the end of the day, it's really not about the destination, it's really about the journey. And this challenge is exactly that. It's a system of check boxes that whatever you put in, you will get out, and you have to stay true to it depending on what your goals are. So this begs the question, should you do the 75 hard challenge? And I think the answer is yes. I think the 75 hard challenge is great for anybody to do, but I also think it's important for you to know that you should make it your own. You don't have to follow it exactly the way I did it. You should do it the way you want to do. Maybe you don't even do 75, maybe you just do 50. Maybe you do a completely different diet than I do. Maybe you do a completely different workout than I do. It's really all about what you can do to make it for yourself so that's sustainable for you. That's where the success lies. It's not about comparing to what other people are doing. It's about what you can do. Whatever that is, make that decision first so that you can go into this with the right mindset. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching the whole thing. It was a really fun video to make, and I plan to make more videos like this. I want to build a community where we talk more about athleisure and how to make it more sustainable and talk about lifestyle and productivity. That being said, make sure you drop a like down below, leave a comment if you've done the 75 hard challenge, share your experience. Also consider hitting the notification bell button or subscribing if you like what you see and you like the vibe that we're going for. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Really appreciate it. Peace. What is this, 450, 440, 440? It's gonna be a lit lift or what?
Cole's got good lift.
That better not be middle finger.
No.